You are welcome to the Worldly Continent channel, a channel dedicated to the great people and continent of Africa. Remember, it is not the place that defines the status of the people. Rather, it is the people that defines the status of the place. As we continue our journey of financial literacy, we're going to be looking at the topic, should I get a loan abroad to build in Africa? One of the things you will realize about the Western world is that is a credit society. The financial industry, financial institution, they are in the fabrics of the society. So as an African that has just moved to the Western world, you might see that you have an opportunity to get a loan. You know, loans and offers will come through the post, will be sent through you via the email, will come through a text for you to get a loan. And some people will go to the bank and, they will tell them the reason why they need a loan and use the money for different things. Some years ago, somebody asked me a question, which, I'm going to tell you my own view about the whole thing, and I'd like to hear from you what you think. The person told me, I want to get a loan to build in Africa. The first thing I said was that, why do you want to do that? Because you are getting a loan here to build in a place where you don't live. Now, the fact that the bank offers you a loan, the fact that they send you a text, the fact that they send you a leaflet, doesn't mean you have to take it. That's one thing. That somebody offers you something doesn't mean you have to accept it. Now, that is a loan is not free money. You still have to pay back. So you have to understand that even though you are offered something, you don't have to take it. So I told the person some things. Number one, if you decide to take the loan and build in Africa, will the property be able to pay the loan back? That's a question. I'd like to hear from you what you think. The second thing is, if you are going to take the loan, what is the cost of the loan? Because there will always be the interest rate over a period of time. You have to know it. What is the exchange rate of moving money from abroad to Africa and you want to move it back? The number three thing is, if you engage in construction, if you have built before, if you have seen projects run before, you understand that the time is going to change, the cost is going to change, the materials, the cost will go up. So whatever your plan is, there will be an additional expense to your original estimate. So are you still going to borrow to do that? We have to think about this. The number four thing is, even after building the house, it will still be maintained. How do you intend to do this? How will you be managing this property that is far away from you? The number five thing is getting a loan to build in Africa, and you are going to be paying the money back abroad. You are going to put unnecessary pressure on yourself to be able to make a payment in a property that you are not living. Now, some of the things I'd like you to think about is this. If you say you want to get a loan abroad and build in Africa, the question I have for you is, where you are abroad, have you started building wealth? Have you started building wealth? This is where you live. The second thing is, if you say, okay, you are planning for retirement, you don't need a house now. It can wait till when you need it. And when you need it, you can either rent, stay in an hotel, to understand the environment, because you have not stayed in that environment for a long time. So at the end of the day, you might even decide not to build. You might decide to rent. You might decide to buy. But instead of putting down money that you don't have to build what you don't need, you won't have to put yourself under unnecessary pressure to do what you don't have to do. The number three thing I want you to think about is, even when you build it, for the period of time you are going to be building it, you are still going to be making payment. Even when you build it, there's an attachment to that property. Whereas if you rent or stay in an hotel, you still stay there, you still do what you need to do without any attachment. There's room for consideration whether you are going to build later or not. I want you to think about these things, and I'd like to hear from you. Put your comment in the comment box. If there are other strategies or other ways to look at this, I'd like to hear from you. Does it make any financial sense? Remove all sentiments. Does it make sense? If you have been getting value from our videos, we'd like you to consider subscribing to this channel, clicking on that like button, and sharing with others. Remember, a candle does not lose its value by giving light to others. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.